Hi, and welcome to Soul House Yoga Retreat YouTube channel. I wanted to talk a little bit more about acid reflux because the first clip that I made was standing. And so I want to show a few seated postures. I also want to clarify the Uddiyana Bandha because I think I did a little blooper in number one, and it's important that you do that properly on the exhalation and hold the breath out. So I think I made a little blooper in there. Anyway, let's get to that at the end. So what we're going to do today is just look at a couple of forward bends and twists that you can use for treating acid reflux. And I also said in the first clip that you're alleviating stress, getting rid of the stress. I think a better way to say that is you're helping yourself learn how to deal with stress because we all got stress. Okay, so we can do standing twists and forward bends and things like that, but we can also do them seated. And I said that, but I thought I might demo it for those of you who are not that well versed in that. So the first pose that I want to show is called head to knee pose, and that is Janu Shirshasana. You simply bend one knee, and if the knee is up in the air, leave it there. And also, if you want, you can put something under it like a block or a blanket or whatever, because you do not want to press this knee down. You can take it forward with you, but do not force it out to the side. Okay, so first you could take a little twist here, very mild twist, and look back. In these twists, you want your spine straight. So you want to feel like you're pushing your lower back forward, keeping your shoulders down and back. And you take a few yogi breaths, which is through the nose, and then you come back, and then this forward bend, you hinge from the hips. Now, again, we're working to get the peristaltic motion here working, which the forward bends do, so our digestion, our elimination work the right way, that the acid doesn't come back up, that things go smoothly downward. So you're going to come forward to the extent that you can. Now, if you're not flexible, you won't get far. And if you are flexible, you can have a choice of whether you want to keep your back straight, you'll still get that effect, or whether you want to bend the spine, which a lot of us do over our devices anyway. You'll do a few breaths here in whichever version you choose, and then you'll inhale, come up. Now, in some of the recommendations, it said not to do deep twists, but I'm going to show you a deeper version of this, which Mr. Iyengar, again, who has a little bit stronger recommendations, like the inversions, which I mentioned in number one, that some people don't recommend because logically it would feel like, oh, that's making the acid go back up. However, if you're doing a full yoga practice and your body's pretty good, and even if you have just mild acid reflux, I think that could be helpful. Anyway, your choice. So here's the deep twist. You bring your elbow down here. If you're very flexible, you can bring your shoulder down in here. And you twist. This is a bigger twist, right? And you reach that arm over. It's a lot like triangle pose, Trikonasana, which I said was a mild twist, but here it feels really quite deep and you look up. And you breathe through the nose. Okay, and then you inhale, come on up. Great, and then we're going to go ahead and bring the legs back out in front. And then this is a very classic forward bend. And basically, these are a hinge from the hip, which a lot of people don't realize, and I didn't realize when I first started yoga some centuries ago. This is not just for your back, right? It is a back stretch, but let me show you from the side. You're hinging from the hips. So again, if you want to cause that contraction for the peristaltic motion, you can round your back, but you can also work on avoiding that rounding that we get so much every day over our devices and such, and just come forward and you'll still get a contraction here, right? And then just breathing, relaxing head, neck, and shoulders, or coming further forward. Okay, so that's what I wanted to show. I'll show you one more twist. So you can bring your knee up and you can come around, and then this is another twist. And again, shoulders down, spine straight, breathing. Okay, so that's the twists and forward bends. They also recommend either sitting cross-legged or with the soles of your feet together and laying back. So let's start with cross-legged, which is simpler for most people. And then I'm just going to simply come back. I want to stay in camera. I'm going to come back and just lay back. So this is a very mild opening here. Okay. And stretching. If we want to make it a little deeper, we can choose a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can roll up a blanket, whatever works for you, some pillows, and bring the soles of your feet together. And this isn't a lot of the clips because it's used for a lot of things. Supta Baddha Konasana, but it is really a wonderful posture. So right now my Buddha is supporting me, but you could use something to support you on your outer thigh, not so that high. I'm going to grab my wheel just to show you. That's on my outer hip. Usually you wouldn't use a wheel, but that's what I have handy. It works. And here I am stretching the front body, opening the hips. And this is going to help all of this digestive area to relax. You want to stay in this one for a while if you can. Okay, let's conclude with Uddiyana Bandha. And so what this is it's an energy lock. And as I mentioned in the first one, you want to strengthen this breathing muscle, the diaphragm muscle, because that will help things work the proper way instead of coming back up. Your things are working correctly. You've got more strength here and more flexibility. So as I said in the first one, you could roll your shirt up if you want to see this area. And what I wanted to make clear, which I'm not sure I did 100% on the first clip, is this is done with the breath held out. I think at one point I said, hold your breath in. So here, let's do this. And as I said, you want to do it, especially when you're first learning. First, start standing if you're first learning, then you can graduate to seated. And in the beginning, just do it once a day. Then you could work up to 6 to 8 times a day, but definitely not like when you've been eating, right? And in yoga, they say basically 2 to 3 hours after eating is when we should do our yoga practice. Okay, so let's just look at this to conclude this practice today. And what you're going to do is you're going to inhale fully through the nose. You could take a few breaths if you want. I'll do just one, just work on your breathing. Inhale into the body, all the way into the body, and then exhale. What you want to do, push this in and up. Now I'm talking to you, but this is what you want to do. Just hold the breath out for about 5 seconds. And inhale. So I was touching that place. It might work for you to do that too. So I can feel myself pushing that diaphragm muscle in and lifting it up. Okay. And so that is Uddiyana Bandha, definitely recommended for those with acid reflux. So I'm having fun doing these. If you have any other things you want to address, please reach out to me because it's really fun to know what people need help with. And also that's why I'm here and hope it helps. All right. Have a great day. Namaste.